All right, welcome to the Ringside Reporter podcast, and we're going live right here for the Tyson Fury and Tom Schwartz fight. Tom Schwartz now coming down the aisle. Going to take a look and see. The national anthems have already been played and all that other good stuff. So we'll see what happens here. Schwartz getting ready. Schwartz entering the ring now. I find it fascinating that the announcers tonight have been talking about the championship being on the line here, because there is no title per se on the line. There's only like a lineal championship on the line. So that's just I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the ESPN announcers, but conversely, they're probably not a big fan of me either. So I think it works out pretty well. See what happens. The guy, I tell you what, man, I don't usually get into national anthems, but the guy who sang the English national anthem was really, really good. There we see a shot of Tyson Fury. He's in all black. He's ready to come out here. I guess he's waiting for his music to play or something like that. So we'll waiting for him to get the ring, and then they're gonna. And then we'll see. We'll see what's up. Joe Habib cannot be with me tonight. He met with an accident. He's fine. He's fine. He was attacked by he was attacked by a wild poodle. That's not a joke, guys. That's not a joke. I swear. He just texted me. I said, "Yes, I'm live now." So. Tyson Fury making the ring walk. You know what this reminds me of? You know what his ring walk actually reminds me of, guys? It actually reminds me of, if you guys remember the Klitschko, I think it was the Klitschko-David Haye fight, where Klitschko comes down and you see, like, they had George Foreman there. He was on a bench, and they had all these, where he's walking past all these champions and stuff like that, and he comes out because he's, like, the new guy now. So there you go. So, yeah, Ohio Runs Boxing. Yes, Albert Bell from Toledo. Yeah, if you guys, I tell you what, if you guys didn't see that, go back and watch that fight. That was a very good fight, man. Albert Bell looked really good. Let me tell you, the problem with Albert Bell for me is he got hit a little bit too much. He got touched up. He was hitting, and they said there was an issue with his power. I don't know that there's really an issue with his power, but if you watch him, he throws those shots so fast. But if you watch his feet, they're not I'm having some audio issues here.
Fan problem.
There's some interference.
Yeah, somebody said it sounded like wind blowing.
Uh-oh. Well, we can fix that. Look at that. With a touch of a button, Metatruth. With a touch of a button. But yeah, I like Albert Bell a lot. But I tell you, my big criticism of him was the fact that he got hit a little bit too much, and the power issue. You know what I noticed is that it's arm punches. It's a lot of arm punches from him, not necessarily where he's putting his hip into it or anything like that, or putting his legs into it. I'm sorry, but I'm a little mesmerized by Tyson Fury's entrance. He looks like Apollo Creed from Rocky. Steps over the top rope. Look at that. What is the B and the F? Is that a soccer thing? Lise, do you know? Is that a soccer thing? I don't know. Hey, Dad, do me a favor. Turn that down, will you? Yeah, I think we're okay now. I have my dad checking audio. As usual, my dad's here watching the fights with me. Metatruth says he wants an upset KO from Schwartz. Don't we all? I think that would be great. I think that would be pretty awesome. Look at those two ring card girls. See the way they're looking at me? It's insane. What? I didn't do anything. My wife doesn't find me as funny as some of you out there do. All right, Jimmy Lennon doing the intros now. Doing the intros, getting ready to get it going, man. Thank you very much, Metatruth. Salute to Metatruth. Salute to Ohio Runs Boxing, man. Appreciate you guys showing up tonight. Appreciate everybody showing up tonight. See what we got. Tom Schwartz, if I could say that. Tom Schwartz, 24-0 with 16 knockouts, weighed in at 245.5. He's 25 years old. Most of his fights, this is his U.S. debut. I believe most of his fights, if not all of his fights, have taken place in Germany. The thing you want to watch for with Tom Schwartz, he's a decent boxer. He's not anywhere nearly as good as Tyson Fury. But watch, what I'm going to look for in this fight is to see if he can land that right hand. It is a very sneaky right hand that he throws. It's a good right hand. I don't think he has the power to put Tyson Fury out by any means. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what punches he's able to land and that sort of thing. He is a decent boxer, man. So for a couple of rounds, maybe he can give him a run. We'll see what happens. And while they introduced Tyson Fury, who's 27-0-1 with 19 KOs, weighed in at 263 pounds. 30 years old. He's in Manchester, England. Resides from Manchester, England. And he's fought in the U.S. before, as you know. Let me go ahead and set so I can keep score here. If you guys hear the music in the background, that's my clock. It spins every hour and makes music. So there you go. Kind of like a cuckoo clock, but electronic. Okay, they're getting ready to clear the ring. The two guys are coming to the center to see what's up. And we're going to get this thing going here in just a minute. Tyson Fury with the red, white, and blue trunks on. He does. He looks dead on Apollo Creed from the first Rocky. Came out with the same kind of setup and everything like that. Getting ready to get it on right now. Kenny Bayless is the referee. Floyd Mayweather's favorite referee, by the way. Jane 80, if you guys saw the last bout between Jane 80, it was a terrible, terrible fight. Or a terrible, terrible job as a ref, man. So hopefully Kenny Bayless is better. Round starts, and here we go. Tyson Fury starts with a jab, as we expected. Schwartz coming forward. Tyson Fury just catches him with another jab. Fury looks sharp. That left hand is down, though. Both hands are a little bit low, lower than I like it. Right hand up by his chin, but that left hand is way down by his waist, and very dangerous with Tom Schwartz's right hand. Schwartz throws two shots, both blocked by Fury easily. Schwartz coming forward, not real sure what to make of it so far. I think for Schwartz, he's trying to find a way in. Every time he comes in, he's getting hit with a jab. Fury moving very well. I mean, he looks great in there. He really does. Fury's such a good boxer. Metatruth says they have been over-promoting Fury during the undercard a bit. Yeah, you're right. They've been promoting him. They really have been, but he's the main guy. I get why they do it. None of the undercard guys look like they're going to take that role from him, so I get it. That's kind of the guy he came to see. Fury, a lot of jabs. This has been a clinic so far in this first round. Schwartz not doing much of anything, and I don't know that it's really his fault. He's just not on the level. And we've said this. This is something, I'll tell you what, we said this all week coming into this fight, that Schwartz is just not on the level. You know, not on the level of Fury. I think this one's going to go a while. I don't think that Fury's going to get him out of here. But by the same token, this is more like a sparring session, it looks like. Fury being caught off balance a little bit. Nice, big right hand by Schwartz. Tyson Fury just rode with the punch. Wasn't anywhere near as bad as it looked. It looked pretty bad. But didn't catch him anywhere close to being clean. Fury still popping the jab out there. About 5 seconds left to go in the round. Good jab by Schwartz. And that's going to end the round. Both of them touch gloves to go back. Easy round for Fury, man. I mean, that wasn't even close. And my guess is that this is the way the fight's going to go. I got to be honest, man. You know, I can't see. It's tough for me to think that just after that first round that Schwartz is going to, you know, typically you can see after the first round, after the feel-out process, the way the fight's going to go when it's a fight like this. And Schwartz not doing anything to make me believe that he's going to have a shot in this fight, in the sense that, you know, he's trying to be aggressive, but he just has no idea how to do it. He's not cutting off the ring from Fury. But again, it's the first round, man. Let's see if he warms up in the second round. Let's see what happens. Tyson Fury choosing to stand in his corner here. Seconds out. Here we go, getting ready for round 2. They've made a big deal about Ben Davidson also. Tyson Fury's trainer. So Tyson Fury's picking up where he left off, just flipping that jab out there. He can win the fight with that jab alone. He's actually turned southpaw here. Tyson Fury now starting to put in some leather here. He's hitting him harder shots. Schwartz's face is a little red already from those jabs, I think, just coming in. Fury's not landing too much, just jabs, but you can't take those jabs all day. And they will do damage as he goes. Oh, big left hand by Fury. Big left hook. Schwartz is in trouble here. He's wobbled a little bit here. Fury starting to clown, backing up. Schwartz coming forward. He caught him with a picture-perfect left hook, man. That was just right on the button. It definitely got Schwartz's attention. Schwartz still coming forward. I think that's the only way he really knows how to fight. At least all the video I've seen of him, it's kind of his only way to go. Tyson really just toying with him at this point. A lot of flash, hands down by his waist. Hands aren't even up. That jab is just coming out of from his waist up. Oh, and big left hand by Fury. Busted Schwartz's nose. He's bleeding from the nose now. I'll tell you what, man, this ain't looking good for Schwartz. Schwartz has yet to get off his right hand. That's the one that he said that, you know, we talked about all week, that he's got a big right hand. Nice left hand, but oh, wow. Big combination. It's about a 4-punch combination from Schwartz. Each one of them missed. Fury is he's so hard to hit flush, man. Oh, big right hand by Fury. Schwartz goes down. That split the guard. He goes right down to both knees. Fury has Schwartz in a lot of trouble here. Kenny Bayless counting. He counts the 8. Schwartz is ready to go. He comes out. Fury pounces on him. Combinations by Fury. This fight's going to end here in a minute. Bayless looking hard. He wants to stop it. That's it. Big combination by Fury. Busted him up. This is kind of the way we thought it was going to go. I got to be honest. And Metatruth said Schwartz being picked apart. Absolutely. He was just completely manhandled in there. We said it all week that he's definitely a good boxer. Speaking of Schwartz, but he's just not on that same level. Not on that level. And, I saw, like I said, we've seen quite a few videos on Schwartz and kind of broke down those tapes and everything. And the thing about it is that he's a good fighter. But even though he's 24-0, I think it's 24-0 or whatever he was, he's not, I would like to see him developed. I would have liked to seen him developed in America. All those fights were taking place in Germany. Your sparring partners, all that stuff. I mean, you're going to get better competition in America. You're going to get better competition in the UK. You're going to get better competition elsewhere. UK would have been ideal for him. If he could have had some fights there. But just having your fights in Germany, man, and then going to this top level, that ain't going to cut it. And what's up with the WBO ranking this guy number 2? I mean, that's like, really? I don't get it. But, early night, for sure. But I will tell you this, man, is that Tyson Fury, listen, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. I think that's the thing. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. Everybody said, this guy is not a great fighter, who we've never heard of him. Good. Then you go out there and you get him out. But I tell you what, Tyson really came out with some pop in that second round, because after the first round, like I said, he was just kind of toying with him, pawing him with that jab, just a feel-out process. But then you could see him start to put mustard on those shots in the second round. And that's what made the difference. Winner by TKO, 254 of the second round. Tyson Fury now 28-0-1. Just a really good performance. Dead Game Boxing says, I see your point, but Tyson is probably the best boxer in the heavyweight division. I think you can take the probably right out of there. Tyson Fury is the best boxer in the heavyweight division. I think bar none. They're showing the replay now. He caught him. A left hook started that whole process, and then just left-right combinations. But a 4-punch left-right combination. And look how elusive on the ropes he is. They're showing the replay. It was about a 4 or 5 punch combination. Tyson was able to roll those shots, not get touched up by anyone, and then counter with a right hook to the body. Just incredible. And Tyson, since his comeback, is getting better and better. He looks just like a better fighter every time I see him. And he's more elusive. And I tell you what, I mean, you have to favor him over any heavyweight in the world right now. You have to favor him. He's such a hard puzzle to figure out. You look at him and you say, there's no way the guy can move like that. And he's so elusive. He stands right in front of you and disappears. He reminds me a lot of, not to get crazy here, but like a heavyweight Pernell Whitaker, where it's difficult. He's difficult to hit. Now, don't get me wrong. He's not Pernell Whitaker. But, look at my dogs going nuts. They like the fights, too. Yeah, it is. It's incredible for a big guy. If you're ESPN, and Metro says ESPN will be happy, you know what? If you're ESPN, you're ecstatic right now. because this is what the guy was supposed to do. This is what, this is what they brought him in here for. And you got a guy who can box, a guy who's got power. They're interviewing him right now, and unfortunately I can't hear the interview. We can't really turn the sound up because of copyrights and that kind of thing. But yeah, Reese Mack in the chat says Fury looked good. Problem was he did it against Tom Schwartz. Well, see, I think I don't think that's the problem at all. I think that Fury looked good. Period. The fact that it happened to be against Tom Schwartz, he can fight who he's put in there with. But this is what he was supposed to do. We got to keep in mind, this is what he was supposed to do with Tom Schwartz. This is what you're supposed to do with this level of opposition. Tyson Fury with 6 KOs in his last 10 fights. Now, I would like to see him step up the competition, but all right, Matt True says he's thanking Jesus in the chat. Let's see here. I imagine they're talking about Wilder. But I thought it was pretty impressive, and I don't care if it was against Tom Schwartz or not. I thought it was a pretty impressive performance, man. What's next for him? My guess is that I can't see what he's saying here. My guess is, as far as what's next for him, I don't know if that's what he's talking about or not, but my guess is what next. He'll probably say, I want Wilder next or whatever. But I think he's probably going to fight another fight this year. He'll probably fight another soft touch this year. And then from there, he may go on to fight Wilder. Now, the rumor is that they've agreed on the fight for 2020 of next year. Fury came out the other day and says, there's no contract, blah, blah, blah. Listen, they didn't sign any contract because there's no venue signed or anything like that. I mean, it's a principal agreement. And he's right, they haven't signed any contract, I'm sure, and it is what it is. But the closer that fight gets, that's what's going to happen. Tyson Fury now breaking out into song in the ring. Dead Game Boxing says Wilder is the best, but what I'm saying about Tyson's boxing skills are probably the best. Ortiz and Wilder could be better, but Tyson is 1-3, is 1 to 3 inches in, I guess 1 to 3 in boxing skills on Bomb Squad all the way. Hey, listen, man, I'd be curious. I think Tyson Fury already beat Wilder. I mean, I had it a pretty wide margin, even with those knockdowns. He's got the voice of an angel, says Unrivaled. Okay, and Metru says next year. He said Wilder is next year. So what song is he singing here? Let me see if I can adjust it here. No, he's already done. What the singing is shocking. I don't know if that's shocking good or shocking bad. I don't know. The voice of an angel, says Unrivaled. Very interesting, very interesting. Fury now posing with Bob Arum, his new best friend. They said the ESPN deal is reportedly $100 million. Over $100 million. It's a lot of money, man. So can you fault him? I mean, everybody was really furious at Fury for taking that deal. But $100 million, man. I tell you what, man, that's a lot of money to turn down, man. I'll tell you that right now. It's a whole lot of money to turn down. So I can't hate on that. That's for sure. ESPN called Fury the heavyweight champion of the world, which is really odd since he has no belts. But I mean, I don't know. I don't really put stock into the lineal title. I know that a lot of people do, but to me, listen, man, you can't just go on hiatus for 2 years. Be the champ, give up your belt, go on hiatus, and then come back and still say you're the champ. It doesn't work that way. David Gregory says the fight was a joke. Can he fight a better opponent? He can. He can. Will he? I don't know. I'm not sure where they got this guy at. I had never heard of Tom Schwartz prior to this fight being announced. We had to go find video on him and everything like that, and go look at his fights to see what this guy does well and what this guy does. And we said it, like I said, all week, man. He's just in over his head. He's in over his head. The fight was a total joke. Agreed. It was a definite mismatch, but again, if you're looking for a silver lining, Tyson Fury did exactly what he was supposed to do with a guy of his caliber. How did they scam the public again? Did anybody, let's be realistic, Jason. Did anybody think that this was a uber competitive fight? Did anybody come in thinking like, wow, we're going to see another Andy Ruiz situation? No, not at all. That, Glenn Hawes, that would have been really, really cool. Glenn Hawes said, I thought he was going to walk to the ring with his own custom lineal belt. That's what he should do. That would be amazing. From a complete marketing standpoint, that would be amazing. If he walked in with his own custom-made belt, had his picture on the sides, everything like that, that would be awesome. He should do that. He really should. He really should. I expect the number one heavyweight to fight a top 10 guy and prove why he's number one. David Gregory, he was ranked number 2. Believe it or not, Tom Schwartz was ranked number 2 by the WBO. Listen, I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just telling you facts. He's ranked number 2 by the WBO. Now, it is what it is, I don't know, man. Jason said they ruined the rematch for this trash. Speaking of the Wilder Fury, again, was he going to make $100 million in the Wilder fight? No, he signed for $100 million. That's why that rematch got postponed. So there you go. Not making excuses, just telling you facts, son. And we're going to find out how much Jason knows about boxing tomorrow. He has agreed to challenge Robbie in a game of boxing trivia tomorrow. So he'll be the first one on the docket on Beat the Robbie, and we'll see how he does. Or, as my wife calls it, Beat the Buffoon. We'll see how it goes. I think it's a better name. I got to be honest with you, Lisa. I think it's a better name. But legendary boxer Jason, yes, he did sign for $100 million. They just announced it tonight. That's what they said on ESPN. Yeah, he did. He said it was $100 million. They said it was $100 million a night. You don't like it? Go argue with ESPN about it. I'm just telling you what they said. David Gregory says they made him number 2 in the WBO after the fight was announced. Again, man, listen, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys, man. He's number 2. I don't know if he's number 2 after tonight still, but he was a number 2 ranked opponent. So, nothing you can do. Nothing I can do about it. I agree with you. He should have fought. Listen, man, I think he should have fought a better. Listen, was Tom Schwartz a legit number 2? No. I think that's pretty obvious. But how many times have we seen mandatory contenders that should not have been mandatory contenders? We've seen it all the time. Yeah, Glenn Hall says that's perfect. Yeah, Igloo too. You're right. Aaron knows. Yeah, he's not telling any of us. $100 million or not, it's still more than the rematch alone was going to pay. Glenn, I couldn't agree with you more. That's the thing, man. I would have loved to see the rematch. I was really irritated when he took the ESPN deal because I knew the rematch wasn't happening after that. But, what am I going to say? Somebody offers me $100 million. I'm taking it too. Yeah, for those of you who didn't hear, Beeb was viciously attacked tonight by a poodle. True story. True story. Huh?
Is it a toy poodle?
It's probably a toy poodle, yeah. Maybe it was a standard. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and tell him it was a standard poodle. You know, those waist-high poodles? You know, the kind you see in the dog show? Yeah. I bet it was like fresh off the dog show or something like that, you know. Thank you, Metatruth. I appreciate that. Lois attacked Beeb. Beeb could have rabies right now. He's probably getting 20 shots in the stomach. You gotta show him some respect. Jeez. Who do I think is going to end up with all the belts in the end? Probably Fury. If I had to guess, probably Fury. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure if anybody ends up with all the belts in the end. I'll be honest, man. I don't know that anybody ends up with all the belts in the end. I think those belts get fractured after the Ruiz. If Ruiz wins the rematch with Anthony Joshua, those belts get fractured. I don't think there's any question about that. Ohio Runs Boxing says Andy Ruiz will have all of them. Hey, that's not a bad bet either, man, because I'll tell you what, the way he looked against Anthony Joshua, and I heard Aram's comments about Andy Ruiz and talking about, he said that Tom Schwartz was better than Andy Ruiz and that the Anthony Joshua win was basically a fluke because it wasn't the real Anthony Joshua. Give that guy some credit, man. I mean, those are just bad things to say. They're just dumb things to say. Yeah, the WBO, they've who is it? I'm trying to think of who their number one is. Maybe Dillian White. Yeah, Dillian White is number one, followed by, I believe, number 4 is Oscar Rivas. And those two are going to fight. And then Schwartz and Fury just fought. They were 2 and 3, respectively. So that, my guess is those belts are going to get fractured. That WBO belt is, my guess is going to come back to Bob Arum in some form. Jason says, I want Wilder versus Andy. Let me tell you something. That fight, Ruiz, the thing that I think people are bypassing, overlooking, Ruiz doesn't need any belts. He's got them, and he just beat the champion. So whether he rematches him or not, he's the champ. He is recognized without belts, with or without belts. He is now recognized as the best in the world because he's got 3 of those belts. I mean, he is. I mean, my thoughts that Tyson Fury is the best. Some people think that Wilder's the best. Listen, Andy Ruiz has got to lay claim he's the best. He's got 3 of those heavyweight titles. Ruiz is quicker than Schwartz. He'll put up a better fight. Yeah, Ruiz is 100 times better than Schwartz. No question, man. Igloo 2 says Ruiz cannot fight anyone until he fights Joshua. What's so hard to understand about the rematch clause? You're right. They got a rematch. And I don't think anybody said any different about that. But the rematch is taking a little longer than we were led to believe, put it that way, to take place. And Jason says Heyman is a loophole king. He absolutely is. But I think that, but if he decides not to fight him, I think those belts fracture. And I think he gets stripped of quite a few of them, if not all of them. Yeah, Eddie said 1 week, but it'll be too much. Listen, man, you're talking about, they're negotiating money, they're negotiating this, they're negotiating that. It's not as cut and dry as, well, we just had a piece of paper and this is what we're going to do. Ruiz has a little leveraging power now. Igloo 2 says, I always heard November or December, AJ is the biggest money fight. There's no reason for Ruiz not to take this fight. Yeah, I would agree with that. Night, Dan. I would agree with that, too. I don't think there's any reason to not fight. I mean, he's got to have the most money there. I think it's a bigger fight than him and Wilder, honestly. He says that Andy and Wilder both can make $20 million on pay-per-view. Based on what? Based on what? Reese Mack, Beeb got attacked by a dog. He was, I wouldn't say brutally mauled, by a poodle. Bitten. You think that's a better word for it? Yeah. Bitten. Yes, he was brutally bitten by a poodle. What's that?
There's probably a cute nurse at the ER.
Yeah, Lisa said there's probably a cute nurse at the ER that Beeb went to see. His name is Stan.
You're so mean.
Igloo 2 said, I'd rather see AJ Ruiz than Wilder versus Ruiz. The only reason people want to see Ruiz at all is because his win over AJ. He's right. He's right. It was a poodle. Reese Mack, yes, it was a poodle. Igloo 2 says, poodles are super smart. They are. Too bad they don't know how to, don't know when not to bite. So there you go. Dogs don't like Trump voters. Okay, whatever that means. Look at 85% of the Wilder resume, Sean Newton says. I think you're 100% right on that. I think you're 100% right. Wilder doesn't have the best resume, but if we are being fair, Tyson Fury doesn't have the best resume either. He's got his win over Klitschko. He's got my perceived win over Wilder. Joe Lopez, did Ringside Robbie watch the fight? I'm going to give you 2 guesses, but you're only going to need 1. Fury resume is trash outside of Klitschko. It's not. I wouldn't say it's trash. I wouldn't say any resume is really trash, but they're not. It's not the best. Nighttime. Yeah, Hamed 92 brings up a really good point. Fury looked good. I think he schools Wilder in the rematch. I do too. I thought he schooled him the first fight. I really did. Glenn Halls is asking, was it a giant or toy poodle that attacked Beeb? I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. It probably was a teacup puppy, but I'm guessing. I'm going to say it's a standard sized poodle. So it was about a waist high poodle. To hear Beeb tell it tomorrow, it'll be a grizzly bear. But Dr. Mofongo says Fury will be the last man standing. He beats all the top heavyweights. Could be right. You could be right. AJ has the best resume in the heavyweight division. He absolutely does. I don't think there's any question about that. Mario G with kind of a good point. Canelo had Rocky. Triple G had Rolls. Now Fury's had Schwartz. That's very true. That's very true. Reese Mack back on the poodle. A poodle can do damage, but it's kind of funny. It's very funny. I mean, it is kind of funny. I mean, I can't listen, I don't want to laugh at Beeb's pain and suffering, but you're right, I do. Am I kidding? But it was a poodle, you know. Boxing Freak 91 says Wilder is all power and athleticism, no skill. You got something to that, but I would counter that with, listen, the guy's got 40 wins, 40 knockouts, or 41 wins with 40 knockouts or something crazy. He always finds a way to land that shot to knock the guy out, and you got to have some skill in that. So we got to give him his just due there, because it does take skill to do that for sure. Jason says dogs don't like mean people. You're absolutely right. Fury is a Queensberry rules boxer. There you go. I agree. Jason says AJ is the one with no skills. Well, listen, man. Again, you don't get 3 heavyweight championship belts without having skills. So I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Dr. Mofongo brings up an excellent point. The entrance and KO will be all over SportsCenter tomorrow. As the Wilder KO of Brazil was. The rematch is going to be huge. This is big. This is a big rematch. You know, I'm wondering, well, I was going to say, I wonder if it's on ESPN, but ESPN Plus isn't the same as DAZN, where DAZN has that no pay-per-view model, except they charge you a monthly fee, aside from that whole pay-per-view thing. But ESPN, this fight will definitely be on pay-per-view. I don't think there's any question. Do I think Fury KOs Joshua? No. No, I do not. Fury beats Joshua more convincingly than Wilder? Yeah, I think so. Let's see here. Yeah, if he connects, Wilder's a one-punch guy, man. He's got that one-hitter quitter on him, for sure. Igloo 2 says he's got AJ over Wilder and Fury. Still an AJ believer, man. Listen, man, hey, give AJ the benefit of the doubt, man. He's allowed to have a bad night every now and then. Just so happened to be on his biggest stage of his career against a guy he was supposed to run right over. But, listen, man, anybody can have a bad night. And maybe there was something to it. Listen, I don't want to hear that, everybody, listen, when AJ lost that fight, I'll tell you this, man, when AJ lost that fight, there was everybody and their brother making videos, commenting, there was something wrong with AJ, he was knocked out the week during sparring, he had a panic attack in the dressing room, he broke his ankle on the way to the ring, he was bit by a poodle, any number of excuses that they could give you, they were giving you. So, listen, AJ came out and said, hey, the guy beat me fair and square, so let's do the rematch and let's see if the guy was really that much better. I think that Ruiz has got a different type of style. And that style is, to me, a perfect foil for AJ's style. That's where I come at it with, man. That's just my opinion, though. Beeb's hype, I already know. Yeah, absolutely. Fury's his guy, man. Fury's his guy. So hopefully he's not too strung out on sedatives from the pain, and he was able to watch the fight. Jason says, rest in peace Matchroom. Not sure what that means. Jason says Wilder should fight Schwartz too. Why not? I would agree with you. I mean, if you look at his first 35 opponents, they're just kind of like Schwartz, aren't they? Boxing Freak said the same thing. He was like, you already fought 35 different Schwartz. 35 different Tom Schwartz. That's right. That's right. Fury looked good tonight, but even Charlie Z would look good against Schwartz. Listen, man, don't disrespect Charlie Z, man. He knows what he's doing in the ring. He can fight. He can fight a little bit. Charlie Z, baby. He's undefeated. He's undefeated. Come on. Like Chavez's first 80 opponents. Yeah, like Edwin Rosario, like Meldrick Taylor. Yeah, like his first 80. Come on. Don't know what you're talking about. Why does Charlie Z need to be in prison? What do you do? I don't know. Yeah, Ruiz has been boxing. Reese Mack says that Ruiz has been boxing since the age of 6 or 8. A lot of people really overlooked his pedigree. I would agree with that. Yeah, I'm one of them. I didn't think he was going to beat AJ, though. I think that was the thing. I mean, a lot of people said he was a better opponent than Miller and this and that, but I thought size-wise, everything like that, he wasn't going to be able to compete too much with AJ, and, every now and then I'm wrong. Who knew? Wilder made a career of beating Schwartz type of opponents. That's right. Assaulting people in gyms for years, assaulting the Domino's delivery driver. You know what? I did see those. You know what? I saw a couple of those videos where he would go into a gym. Charlie Z, I'm speaking of. He would go into a gym, put gloves on, and like ask the guy. He was like, would you like to box? Put on the gloves, and the guy's putting on the gloves, and he just whacks them. I mean, he just goes and hits the people, man. I'm like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? Tell you what, I mean, somebody does that to me, man, you're getting choked. Yeah, well, that's what happened to him in the gym, man. He did that to the wrong dude. Started playing around in the ring, and the guy, he tried to cheap shot him or whatever. Charlie Z jumped out of the ring. The guy jumped out of the ring, tracked him down, punched him, choked him out. Put him in a choke. Igloo 2 says Ruiz is a weak puncher. I don't know, man. Ask AJ how weak that punch is, man. He looked pretty strong to me. It says AJ is one-dimensional, but so is Wilder. Again, I believe Wilder is one-dimensional, and because listen, man, he's not a textbook boxer. He's not. He's just. It is what it is. He's not a textbook boxer, and he is very one-dimensional. But is AJ one-dimensional? No, I think AJ. No, I don't know about that, man. I still think AJ is a better boxer. Would he beat Wilder? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if he would or not. Fury is the best heavyweight of our era. Well, time will tell on that one. Speaking of Charlie Z, either he's psychotic or a attention junkie. I think he's both. I think he's psychotic. I really do. There's something wrong with that guy. This legendary boxer says this is worse than Danny versus Salka. Yeah, your opinion, man. I don't know. They were mismatches. They were both mismatches. So what's one? 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Wilder has the least tools of all the boxing heavyweights. I would probably go along with that. That being said, he's one-dimensional, but it's a pretty good dimension to have. Let's see here. Parker, let's see here. Jason says that Parker and his coach said that Andy hits harder than AJ. Maybe. I don't know how his coach knows. Dale in Chi-Town says Wilder is one-dimensional, but it's a heck of a dimension. You're 100% right, man. Absolutely. Like I said, if we're going to be one-dimensional, that's the dimension I'd pick. Hamed92 says Jason's just crying because the PBC is going to be sold. A lot of legs on that story, man. A lot of legs. I think it actually may end up happening. Jason says, did you see Parker's coach tell Helen Yee that Andy hits harder, or that Andy hits hard? You just went over this. Why are you saying the same things here? The one dimension is a 12-gauge shotgun blast. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, if PBC gets sold, it's just more money in Heyman's pocket. Well, in what I read, the article I read was that the PBC is going to get sold to the owners of the UFC, that WMI or WEMI or whatever it is, that they're going to sell it to them, but Heyman will still maintain like the day-to-days or whatever. Like he'll still be like the figurehead there, kind of like Dana is with the UFC. But I think Dana, if I'm not, and again, man, I don't know the inner workings. I think Dana's probably more involved in the UFC than Heyman is with PBC. I could be real off base with that. That's just the feeling I get. Yeah, RR1000. There's a video on YouTube where Charlie Z goes to Wilder's gym. Yeah, man, that was brutal, man. That was brutal. He got smashed. That was a long time ago too. That was way before Wilder was a champion. Metatruth says, what is Dana going to bring to boxing? Dana from the UFC. He says big things were coming. I think this could be it. If they purchase, I imagine if they purchase them, he'll be involved somehow. And if you notice, I don't know if you notice if anybody subscribes to UFC Fight Pass. If you subscribe there, you already see there's already boxing on there. So he's hooked up with more and more people, I guess. Now they're not big fights or nothing I would go out of my way to watch. But if you have UFC Fight Pass, then there you go. I like the Zone. Igloo says he likes the Zone way better than the ESPN. I do too. I don't know. I like the Zone, man. I think they have better fights. Just, they got better fights on there. I don't know. Jason says Heyman will keep a minority stake. I guess he knows that from watching Heyman's car. All right, so Alexi, or is it Alex McCann, what do these so-called judges watch? Did you see I don't know if you guys had a chance to see the Kid Galahad and Josh Warrington fight this afternoon. Unbelievable. Unbelievable robbery. I feel so bad for Kid Galahad, man. I feel so bad for him because he was just flat out robbed. The fight took place in Warrington's hometown, but yeah, he was just flat out robbed. Just awful, awful. Let's see here. Metatruth says Dana's very passionate about boxing in the BT Sports interview. Yeah, he was. He really was. Wouldn't we like to see boxing shaken up in a system where the best fight the best? I absolutely agree, man. I tell you what, absolutely agree. You know, I like the UFC model. I like what they're about. I like that they put the best against the best. There's still even problems with that model, but it's 100 times better than what we have now in boxing. Alex Gripe says, what happened with Sean Porter? I'm not sure what happened with him. Is he out of the fight? Igloo 2, thank you. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for listening to me rant about nonsense, you know. Listen to me tell you about the fight. I appreciate it, man. Boxing Freak says the UFC robs their fighters. Tell you what, I wish they'd rob me with a few million. UFC fighters get paid peanuts compared to boxers. UFC fighters get paid. You know, this is one of those things where, you know, he says, you know, listen, man, you're talking about the top 1% of fighters in the world, you know, that make Canelo money, that make Mayweather money, that make Joshua money, that are going to make Ruiz money now, Fury money, you know, very small percentage, guys. Most of these guys are getting like $1,500 a fight. How much do you think these guys on the undercard got paid? They didn't get paid life-changing money. You know, how much do you think Michaela Mayer got paid tonight? You know, come on, man. Boxing pay-per-views are selling more than UFC. Maybe. I don't know the official numbers on them. I don't have them in front of me. But I will tell you that the UFC pay-per-views are once a month, where boxing is, what, once every couple of months? Maybe 2 or 3 a year. So, Alex Wright wants to know, who do I got for Pacquiao Thurman? I tell you what, as much as I hate to even admit it, I think I'm gonna pull. I think Pacquiao might get him, man. I'm gonna pull for Pacquiao on this one. I've said for the longest time Pacquiao's washed up, but listen, man, Thurman didn't do too much to change my mind in his last fight. He was almost knocked out in that I believe it was the 7th round. He was out. And, you know, I think it was against Lopez, man. If he had a little bit more in the tank, a little bit more skill, he would have put him out. He would have definitely put him out. So, Tom Cruise and Justin Bieber next. I heard that Justin Bieber came out and said it was just a prank. He said Tom Cruise would kill him. So there you go. And I tell you what, Justin Bieber is listen, man. Last I heard, he was a blue belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, which you know, he can fight. He was also trained by Floyd Mayweather in boxing, so he knows how to box a little bit. But the bigger thing is he's a blue belt in Gracie BJJ. Good luck with that, guys. Yeah, good luck taking him down. The guy can fight, man. If you're a blue belt, you know what you're doing. Yeah. He says, Igloo says, I agree, Pac's washed up, but he's still rooting for him. Yeah, I think so, too. I think they're both, like I said, I don't think Thurman's the same fighter. And I don't think Thurman's not the same fighter because of his skill. I just think that Thurman's not the same fighter. His heart's not in it. I just don't think he's all there anymore. I think he's got a foot out the door already. If Thurman comes in like when he fought Porter, you're going to be worried. I don't think we're going to see that Thurman. You know. Honestly, what do I think about Andy Ruiz and Wilder? If the fight comes off, it's a good fight. And man, I tell you what, it's a solid fight. And Ruiz can be hit. We saw that in the AJ fight, but Ruiz can also hit. And anybody who says, listen, we say it all the time on the show, anybody over 200 pounds can hurt you. Andy Ruiz, well over 200 pounds. He definitely hurt AJ, put him away. He can punch, man. He can punch. So that fight's a good fight. I don't know who I take in that one. Cruz would smash Bieber, I think. He has really looked after himself and has that Scientology, what is it, OT8 superpowers? Yeah. Cruz looks like he's 30 years old. And how old is he? He's like 50 or something like that. 50, maybe close, pushing 60. Yeah, it's crazy. Jason seems to know a lot about Bieber's training regimen. That's good. Says he trains at Joe Gooson's place, 10 Goose. Pacquiao's the Pittsburgh Steelers of boxing. He's got to be beaten. He's got to be beaten to make me pick against him. Yeah, until you see him beat. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. What do you say about people saying that Ruiz landed lucky shots on AJ? Listen, man, there ain't no such lucky shots. If anything, if you want to say lucky shots, what about the hook AJ landed on him? That could have been conceived as a lucky shot too. I don't believe in lucky shots, man. I really don't. And you know, I heard like a lot of boxers saying, "Oh, I got hit with a lucky shot" and everything like that, or you get hit in a fight, "Oh, I got hit with a lucky shot." Listen, man, you guys all know defense. You guys all know how to protect yourself. You all know how to bob and weave and, you know, get out of the way of punches. I don't think there are lucky shots, man. You get hit, you get hit. Yeah, Dorticos KO'd, Uniel Dorticos KO'd Andrew Tabiti today, man. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys didn't see that fight, go to YouTube, go to DAZN, go find it somewhere and watch that fight. It was amazing, man. It was amazing. That was just a sick KO, boy. It was bad. I mean, he clipped him out. He was gone, and he was gone for like a couple minutes. Alex Ripe says every boxer is focusing on being building up his record to the point of building a, you know, he said, what's the point of building a bucket up regarding the bombs to tell about challenging yourself? You know, you're right. They all want that undefeated record and everything like that. It really means nothing. I mean, back in the day, I mean, there was a lot of people that had losses on their record. It doesn't mean anything. Boxing Freak says the WBSS is what boxing needs. 100%. 100%. And I hope they do it again. I know they were trying to get a light heavyweight. I think it was a light heavyweight World Boxing Super Series. So I hope they do it. I hope those financial problems didn't... hope that was all a misunderstanding and everything like that. So I heard they were one step away from being out of that whole thing. So... yeah, Ohio Runs Boxing hit it on the head. He said, how does a person get hit with a lucky shot and then get knocked down 4 times? There's not that much luck in the world. You got that right. Exactly. Joel Lopez says, what was Robert do? What about Robert Byrd not hearing the bell? That was, let me tell you something about Robert Byrd. That was the least of the problems I had with Robert Byrd in that fight. The fact that the guy got hit with a backhand elbow, you know, a legitimate back elbow. That should have been a foul. No question it was a foul. Told the guy to get up. Only gave a warning. Didn't do anything about it. He's a terrible referee. His wife is the same way. She's horrible too. She's a horrible judge. She was incidentally judging in that same fight. That should never happen. But, so he was reffing the fight. His wife was judging the fight. I don't know who in the World Boxing Super Series booked that crap, but it was nonsense. And Robert Byrd should never step foot in a ring again. That airhead should go and retire somewhere and enjoy life at the country club or nursing home or wherever he's going after this, because he sucks. The WBC said they will not participate in the WBSS anymore. Who cares? The WBC, they're all jokes. I mean, they really are. I mean, they all those champions, all the sanctioning bodies suck. Let's see here. I missed D-Style here. D-Style said, I was very impressed. Just finished my video. Did play-by-play too. Hart versus Barrera was a terrible fight. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was a terrible fight. Yeah, it was an entertaining fight from the fact that both guys were getting hurt. They were constantly in trouble. Both guys had their say in that fight, but a very sloppy fight in the sense that. But Barrera, listen, I don't mean to play retirement Robbie here, but Barrera needs to hang it up. I think that, and if I were, and as far as, as far as Barrera goes, he needs to find another line of work, man, because he did not look like what we're used to seeing Barrera look like. Joe Lopez says time for Burr to join Joe Cortez in retirement. He should have joined him like 2 years ago. Igloo 2 says, who was the best judge? Jerry Roth? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't keep that close. Listen, I look at it this way. If you're a judge and I know your name, you're not doing a very good job. Because typically we look at the fights and say, hey, this guy won or this guy didn't win. And we all agree on it. Or at least we can see. If you don't agree, we see your point or what you did. But if I know Adelaide Bird and I know C.J. Ross, they're terrible. You shouldn't know any judge's name. Who do I got in? Alex Wright wants to know who do I got in Crawford and Spence. Spence, to me, Spence is the guy. Spence, I've been saying it for years, even before he was on top. I've been saying he was the best pound-for-pound guy. He's gonna, it's only a matter of time before he gets that. Spence is the guy, man. I don't think that, I don't think anybody beats him at this point. Moretti's a decent judge. Yeah. But, it just depends. I mean, it just depends on... Because I'm sure you can go to BoxRec and look up Moretti and see, a bunch of decisions you didn't agree with either. So, it's tough. Boxing Freak says Spence has a shaky defense. I don't know about that. I've never seen him really rocked or anything. I mean... Dale from Chinatown said Andre Ward was on tonight too. His criticism was right on. Listen, I like Andre Ward a lot. I cannot stand who's the guy? Mark Kriegel. I can't stand him. And the other guy, Tim Bradley. I hate Tim Bradley. Listen, man, I didn't like Tim Bradley as a boxer. I thought he was terrible. I thought he was like the most overrated boxer there was, and I never did like him after he lost to Pacquiao and didn't admit it the first time because it was pretty clear that he lost that fight. Kell Brook had him going but gassed. I don't know about that. You're talking about Kell Brook and Errol Spence. I wouldn't go that far with it. I wouldn't even say that he landed shots on him, but was he wobbled? Was he in trouble? I don't think so. Did you guys see the Dortigos fight? Yeah. In case you didn't know, Andrew Tabiti is a Floyd Mayweather boxer, is the money team boxer. And I got to be honest, man, I picked Andrew Tabiti to win this fight by decision, by convincing decision. And to me, I mean, it was a hard fight to score, but it kind of went back and forth. But I tell you, man, I was really impressed with Dorticos. He put the pressure on, and Tabiti just didn't throw enough punches. And that's that defensive style he always uses. Igloo says he really liked the Spike commentary team, or he used to like the Spike commentary team. Yeah, me too. Dorticos beats Bradis. I don't know, man. That's a good fight. I can't wait to see it. That's a great fight. Let's see. Another TMT fighter bites the dust. Yeah, I think so, but I think that Tabiti can go back and retool. He's still young enough. He can go back and retool. And let's face it, I mean, this is a pretty big step up in competition, man. Dorticos is no pushover. Jason, who's a top-ranked hype job? don't know who you're referring to there. Sogo says, I haven't heard Jason talk about Gervonta Davis in a while. Yeah, you think? Tabiti looked small. Yeah, he really did. Yeah, he looked a little bit smaller there. Yeah, Alex Ripe says, a lot of fighters aren't saying after a huge payday. That's a big deal, too. You know, and, you look at like guys like Thurman, who I think that got to the top and then didn't get hungry anymore. You know, they were no longer hungry. You know, they had kind of got their dreams and everything like that, and they're no longer hungry. You know, and you wonder if the same thing is going to happen to Andy Ruiz. You look at Buster Douglas. What happened to him with his fight against? He beat Tyson, then he goes against Holyfield and just gets blown out. And not because Holyfield is so much better of a boxer, because he didn't train, he wasn't in shape, he didn't want to be there. Boxing Freak said, I want to see Burchelt versus Tank. Yeah, that fight's, I would like to see it too. We'll see. Boxing Freak says Floyd's too scared to put Tank in a real fight. You know, listen, man, yeah, I would go along with that. Tank is, they're not putting him in there with anybody legit, any top guy anytime soon. That's just the way I feel about this, man. When does Gassiev fight a heavyweight? I'm not 100% sure. Usyk the same way. Usyk tore his bicep. I don't think that really inhibits him in the future. I really don't. But he's got to just make sure he takes time out to get it healed and everything like that. Jason says Tank KO'd Pedraza. Loma went 12 with Pedraza. Doesn't matter, man. Combat math doesn't work. The combat triangle math doesn't work. For a world champ, Tank has one of the worst resumes in boxing. Yeah, probably. You could add Bronner to that list too for being a 4-time champ. At least Bronner's fought a lot of people, but yeah, I mean, the guys he beat for the titles weren't exactly, the greatest. And next week, we're going to try to do I don't know if you guys heard about the bare knuckle boxing, the Paulie Malignaggi, Artem Lobov fight. We're going to try to do that one as a fight cast. Beeb and I will try to do that as a fight cast. That's an interesting fight to me. Paulie is a boxer, obviously, by trade, and it's a different animal. Everybody thinks his bare knuckle boxing is the same as regular boxing. They're two different worlds. I'm telling you, they're two different worlds. Robbie missed his fight too, and all today. Yeah, Exisco, Robbie does not have ESPN Plus, or he does not have the Zone, so the only thing he would have been able to watch was the ESPN undercard. That was it. So the Michaela Mayer fight and everything underneath that. So, yeah. Guys, make sure to tune in tomorrow. 7 p.m. Eastern Time to ringsidereporterlive.com, and then catch our live show. Jason, our very own Jason, who's in the chat, will challenge Robbie in Beat the Robbie. Is it Beat the Robbie or Stop the Robbie? What is it? Lise, what's the title? Beat the Robbie, Stop the Robbie? What is it? Beat the Buffoon?
Don't
Said Beat the Buffoon. That's so mean. Why would you say that, Lise? It's cold-blooded. You're a cold fish, man.
get back to him now. That's mean.
He doesn't watch the internet. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so we'll have Jason versus Robert in boxing trivia. It'll be 7 questions. 7 questions, and Jason already trying to back out of it. He's such a little girl, man. PBC board meeting. So yeah, 7 questions, 1 minute, and if Jason backs out, anybody else can step up to challenge Robbie, because we know Jason knows nothing about boxing anyway. So you beat Robbie, you get a free Ringside Reporter t-shirt, so there you go. How about that, guys? I mean, that right there is worth it alone. It's just worth tuning in alone. Let's see here. Do I think Canelo's going to fight Spence? Not anytime soon. What is Robbie going to talk about on the show now? Well, he'll talk about the Michaela Mayer fight. He'll talk about hey, he's got the game to play. He's got to defend his title now. We're going to see who's the champ, man. If Jason can't sack up and play the game, then hey, we'll find one of you guys to do it. Who can't afford DAZN? You know what? It's not even a question of who can afford it or can't afford it. It's just a question of he just doesn't want to do it. You know, he digs his heels in. The Mexican White House D style. That's right. There you go. Hey, and Jason doesn't have ESPN or DAZN. That's because you're casual. So you're casual, son. Time to hack his fax machine. All right, guys. So listen, join us tomorrow, 7 p.m. We'll go over all the fights today, including this one, and all the fights that you may not have seen. And we'll have all the latest news and rumors. We'll talk about the upcoming fights. And again, beat the Robbie. The big game is coming on. You can win a T-shirt. Hey, come on, man. We're giving away free T-shirts. What's better than that, huh? And we'll get to hear all about Beeb and his dog bite from the vicious poodle. So, hey, that alone, yeah, I don't know. He might be on life support right now. Who knows? Who knows with the Beeb? All right, so hopefully, there he goes. All right, guys, I will catch you tomorrow. Thanks for coming out, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Dale from Chi-Town, salute. Jason, salute. Reese Max, salute. Alex, salute. Exisco, salute. Igloo 2, salute. Sogo, salute. Glenn Hall, salute. D-Style, as always, salute. RR1000, salute. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. If I missed anybody in the chat, hey, salute, man. It's all good. I am signing off, and we will see you tomorrow.